I wanted to say that I titled this one communication. Titled it communication because I wanted to let you know that if there was anything that I said or anybody that I will suggest, I will post it and I will send it to you. Okay, I will even write you. I will call you. I will email you. So if there's anything else like telepathic and ESP and I said and she said and he said and this kind of said and this, that, and the other, I don't know about that. I think that if I send you a message, it will have my name on it and you can verify it and say, look, boop, she said this. Matter of fact, there was a paper that I had wrote, and I don't know what kind of little thing that was, but I think at the time we were talking about here it is, everything else as it pertains to. Um, so if it's he said, she said, they said, them said, ESP, telepathic, I don't know what to tell you. Matter of fact, I need to define what is ESP. Oh, yes, not so much about walking in the rain. So, matter of fact, I have provided, I think that I had shared like the business cards and I also shared information as it related to the effort to do um, gift bags. Okay. So that's a good way for us to communicate. I'm finding and I'm learning that if I was to provide so much more information, like what is it and this, that, and the other, and then if you're busy, then I don't know if you're really listening. You understand? Like even with the card, I was like, I gave the card to somebody and they said, what is let me see, what's SMC? Street Meat Company. And then they said, what's chick? What's say? And so those are acronyms. I would just give you the name. Now that's one, two, three, four, five. That's five things. So pretty much we can have a conversation each other day. Like one day we could talk about SMC, another day we could talk about chick, another day we could talk about say. So I'm realizing that without a thorough conversation, it's just not going to work out. Well, it can. We just be talking, but I'm not quite sure if you would understand what I'm saying. So, what is say? Well, some people ask me what is say. It says C say C. And what is C say C? Well, I mean, it's a feminine form, but we could talk about relationships, like heterosexual, monogamous relationships, things that, and just in general. Okay, so that platform is for that. Say sessions is for intimate form of conversation where it is inclusive to, intercourse and relationships, how we think about one thing or the other, getting us over the hump, getting into the hump. You know what I mean? If a connection with your individual self, stuff like that, um, some people say, well, it's like church, well, all of it, any kind of organization, even business, it's a church. Because again, if you're looking at an organization or you're looking at the government, they have to function and people come together at a certain hour, they work, they get paid for it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it is, but that one is a very intimate form. People, matter of fact, I was doing some um, doing my arts and craft today, and after all that, I was listening to somebody and she was talking about your healing self. And I just said, wow, this is about God. Okay, so relationships, a union with a man and a woman or whatever other sexual purpose that you have, now you're talking about God. Okay, so when you start talking about God, now you're starting to identify different people who may come into your world or your life. Okay, so it's like, okay, now you're talking about your being, you're looking at your spouse, you're looking at your children, so it's a more feminine and masculine form to talk about the mouth from a it is sexual. It has sexual content in it. It is matter of fact, I didn't even put www there, but because www and kite it goes into Naguzo. Okay, so now we're talking about our ethics, our work ethics. Okay, So WWW is word, work, witness, and kite is knowledge, intelligence, trade, and education. So those kind of go into, let's say, Naguzo, but I didn't mean put Naguzo in here. But Naguzo goes into fact. Okay, and so fact, man, actually, to tell you the gun honest truth, all of this is kind of like one thing to tell you the gun honest truth. Because as I'm writing, here it is a plan. I'm like, wow, how are we going to identify all of that to say, well, listen, we want to exercise our rights and we want to do this and do that. So I'm gonna have to put the paper where it's fitting for all of that. That would be including business. Anything that we're doing, it is a form of business. Sustaining it, maintenance, all of that, putting it together, all of that. The same thing with the relationship, it's business. Okay. Um, but fact, so anyway, so say, because I did have one person ask me what was say. And I was like, see, say, see. It deals with the vulva and the penis. Okay. And then, hey, women, you see your man, I mean, matter of fact, it was in this other country. That's how they made their temples. They made their temples from vulvas and penises. Okay, we know about the Kama Sutra and all that other kind of stuff. And matter of fact, I just looked at something and it was showing me how people are exercising together. So this thing is kind of like that union. Okay, so whenever you're communicating with someone and you're meeting them and all that other kind of thing, that's kind of like the beginning, of a conversation. So if somebody say, well, Irene, I'm just interested in knowing how I can, and I'm like, well, I'm looking for this, so there's already automatically probably no interest relative to making money outside of us probably doing some entertainment, and it's not going to a motel room or hotel room to go watch a movie and drink and smoke. Okay. Maybe. Where we going? Anyway, um, so the other ones, SMC, Chicks, Say, BB&D, Fact. I mean, there's just so much because once you get people start talking and rolling, honey, it's all the other stuff will come. Like I said, Kite and WWW is not. Oh, WWW is on IreneRatliff.com, and so this is where people. It will send a link to me. Hi. And my thoughts and my comments. Okay. So communication. I will email you. I will send you a letter. I will text you. I will send you a message. And come right from here it is, this God's mouth. Okay. I don't know too much about that telepathic. Matter of fact, some of that stuff I'm just like, okay, I understand. Ooh. And here it is, ESP. Let me find out what this ESP thing is. I ain't it's been so long. Good Lord. Not ESPN like we playing sports, but ESP like it was dealing with extrasensory perception. Extrasensory perception, also called the sixth sense. This is not the third eye. Anyway, that's what that means. What did it say again? Extrasensory perception. What you think? ESP, no. Telepathic, no. You would get a form of communication. Call me, 678-334-3409. And you can email me, iratlift@gmail.com. Or you can contact me at www.ireneratliff.com.